Three. Hi, welcome to another exciting episode of the Andre The Beast Crayton Show. Today, we're going to go into the new movie that's premiering in November on Tubi with Indiana's own Rodney Carter, who's the star in Indiana's fastest rising comedian. Today, alongside me is no other than Mr. Entertainment himself from Good Vibes, Mr. Keith Lee in the house. Let's get down to business. You're from Indianapolis. You're not from Indianapolis, but you're from Marion, Indiana. You grew up in Indiana. You are starring in a brand new movie about full custody, and that's a deep title. We'll get into that in a minute, but tell the viewers a little bit about who you are.
Well, my name is Rodney Carter, as you heard. Graduated in '84 out of Marion, Indiana. 8 state championships, tied for the most.
Okay,
you hear me?
okay, I hear you.
And I started comedy in 2002. And I did work with some big names. My last biggest name was Michael Blackson. I actually featured for him, and I did 3 shows with Bubba Doug.
Wow.
So, and then I got this movie. Well, I did Forgot About Us first. I had a small part at the end. Uncle Albert looked for me.
Okay.
But then I got full custody, and
were you always funny as a kid?
always. I was always the one that was gonna beat up at the school. Always. And I was little. I was 4'7".
What was it like growing up in Marion? Because I'm in Indianapolis. I grew up in Georgia, but I spent most of my life in both locations, Georgia and Indianapolis, but not in Marion. What's that like for you growing up in a smaller version or smaller town in Indiana?
Well, we got to know about the racism and the politics of things early.
How's that?
We had one high school.
Oh, okay.
One high school. It was the 4th biggest high school in Indiana, but you know, they already had the basketball team picked, you know what I mean? So it was fun because we didn't have to worry about all the drama, somebody trying to put you in the gang and none of that. But it was the politics and
how did that make you feel, knowing that you had to recognize that at such a young age? And you're talking about the late 70s and the 80s. You would think that, well, it just goes to show that it wasn't that long ago that we were still dealing with these issues.
right. It really hurt me a lot because when I was 6, I wanted to be a professional baseball player. That's all I did, and I prepared myself for that. And for them to take that away from me, you know, it kind of put a.
When you say they took it away from you, what do you mean by that?
Well, I was in the 10th grade. I was
Right.
playing varsity and reserves, and you know, I mean, at the end of the season, I moved all the way to the varsity, and then next year, I was supposed to be starting. He said, "Oh, well, we got a senior. He gonna let him play. Then you come to next year." And I had never set the bench in baseball, so I wasn't getting ready to start then. So maybe if I'd had a father figure, I'd have took a different
I was getting ready
approach.
to ask, what was it like growing? You didn't grow up with your father, so who was the mentor for you in your growing up years?
Me. My
Wow.
mom worked, and that's all she did was work. And my daddy, he was in town, but I seen him next door to somebody's house when I was little, go get dressed, come to the window, he'd be gone. He ain't even come say hi. So I almost wrote the book. I'm still thinking about a little boy in the window.
That's a nice story.
Yeah, because that was me.
What was it like for you as a little boy? Go, you can ready to say, Keith. You can ready to say something?
Little boy in the window.
What was that like for you? Just take me down, little boy in the window, because that's something that a lot of men, and let's not just say black men, but just men in general can relate to, not having that father figure in the house, but then still seeing their father. Because I was like that, so to speak. I saw my father and loved the crap out of my dad. Let's get real, you know. And I had to put myself, as I got older and became a man, I started putting myself in his shoes and not trying to justify what he did, but more like trying to understand and try to make sure that me as a man of color, that I don't repeat these same behaviors. But now you're talking about something that's really has caught my attention, the little boy in the window. What was that like for you?
It was devastating, you know, because me and 2 of my brothers graduated the same year, and it his kids, he had a lot of kids. He was the only child in his family. And my grandfather, he had a Rolls Royce. He was in the newspaper for that. He had 8 old schools. And then as I got older, I found out that wasn't really my grandfather. That's why he was acting that way towards me, and I never knew. And my daddy, he never could stop being spoiled. I think that's what it was. He always put himself in the females he dealt with first.
Can you relate to any of this?
I mean, it's like, you know, there's a lot of absent fathers in kids' lives, no matter what, no matter how it was created.
Right.
If you know, if you're in a situation where, you know, your lady at the time, y'all not seeing eye to eye, you are the child's father, but then you get cast out like you're not. I mean, you got some fathers that, I mean, probably still to this day don't even know that is their son or daughter.
What they call it, mama, baby,
You
daddy,
know,
daddy,
it's
maybe.
like, that's your daddy, and then you like, all right. But it's like, like I said, you get some point where the father might just up and leave just to leave. I'm done. I don't think I can deal with a child.
Yeah.
Up and gone. And you got other ones that have been, you know, cast out to the military, stuff like that. So think about it, you got people that was absent in their kids' lives just because of military.
Right.
And then when they come back, kid might be 13, 14 years old. You done did many tours, and it's the first time your son or daughter seeing you. They don't know you.
Hold that thought for a minute.
That wasn't it for me.
I was getting ready to ask, what was it like for you knowing
My
that?
daddy, he just was a player, and he just moved how he wanted to move. You know what I mean? I spent time with my grandmama, though. She looked out for me. So.
Isn't it crazy? Isn't it crazy? It always results back to the grandparents.
Yeah.
That's the rock.
Yeah, it always results back to
Grandparents is the rock.
Yeah.
When you seen your father and he wasn't connecting with you growing up, and you got the opportunities of your dream being somewhat stripped away from you, how low did it get for you? Like for myself, trying to get that male role model in my life, you know, especially during my high school years, that was probably the most scariest moments of my life. You know, you see life, but now you're getting ready to graduate. And I remember distinctly that the counselors told me, you have a choice. You can either go to the military, or you can try to work in the thing, or you can bust your ass and get a scholarship in sports. And now that I look back on that, I go, I was fortunate. I got a scholarship, but I worked hard to get an athletic scholarship. I wasn't built to be in the military. Let's be honest. I'm my own man. I'm not going to tell nobody what to do. Especially, I saw a lot of Gomer Powell, and I wasn't going to tell. Sergeant Carter would have got his ass whipped fucking with me.
Yeah.
But how low did it get for you? I'm speaking on my part, but I can't speak for you. How low did it get for you?
Well, it got kind of low because my mom's mom died when I was like 9, so she was the baby. So after that, she drank a full case of light beers from Miller every day.
Wow.
She worked every day and drunk on her job. And then 20 years later, they fired her for drinking on the job. So
20 years later?
20 years later.
Like they didn't see what was going on?
You saw it before.
Yeah, they knew. But once I got older, and I never was mad at my daddy. I just didn't, you know what I mean? I just stayed away. I was never mad at him. We reconnected for a while. And
What was that like?
passing away.
What was that like when you reconnected, and how many years was it after the reconnection that he did pass away?
I'm gonna say probably about 6 years.
What was the most difficult part of that reconnection? Because I'll tell my story too with that as well, but let's stick with you. And Keith, we'll go back to you and your relationship with your dad and your parents. But the reconnection, how hard was that for you? And did you reach out or did he reach out to you?
Well, actually, it was his girlfriend.
Okay.
She reached out and she called me and told me she was doing something at the house. Come down. I went down there. And then after that, it was like whenever they called, I would go through. So it wasn't like that. I wasn't too much worried about me and him relationship. I just wanted him to have a relationship with my kids. Just at least acknowledge them and be around them. So
What was the first thing you said to him? Do you remember? Because you just walking in. You've been seeing him through the window. I'm setting I'm setting the stage for this book. You've already been basically watching him, but he don't know that. I always feel like somebody watching me type syndrome.
right.
I mean, what was the first thing that you said to him? And was there tears in your eyes? Was it frustration?
It wasn't, you know what I mean? I didn't even really stress on it because I wasn't the only one that went through that after I got older. Like I said, he had a lot of kids, so I wasn't just the only one. I just didn't really understand how he couldn't make time. We in a small town. I see you next door. You could at least come by and say what's up.
Oh my God, man, you got the same stories, dude.
That's called pride, though.
Same story. Yeah, same
that's
story.
pride, though.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? I didn't let it get me down. What got me is the embarrassment. My mama seeing her going through her thing, and as a child, the family telling you to tell her to stop drinking. The embarrassment. I didn't go to graduation. I graduated midterm and went to the service just to get away. And I was more on her, and I didn't understand what she went through until I got my own addiction. Then I understood. You know what I'm saying? So I was caught up because you can let things in your past mess with your future. So you had to let things go. So it took me a minute, and once I let stuff go and got to thinking, and you know, I feel better inside. And I don't hold no grudges.
Hold that thought for a minute.
Yeah, you know that's pride. For him to be right next door to your son, for your son to be able to see you outside, you know, and you not one time acknowledge him, I can guarantee you, he knew he was in that window.
What was it like growing up for you?
I mean, I always had my father in my life. Always.
What's the advantages of having a father in your life?
Hey man, my dad was strict. My dad was like,
did you get the belt?
He was military, man. My dad was military, man. Like full. Like when I was a kid, got deployed, and I mean that's the only time my father was really absent in my life at that time was when he was deployed. But he came back even when I was a kid 3, 4, 5 years old. And you know, mama was everything. I mean, mama was strict too. But yeah, dad, it was that chastising type of person.
What was it like for you to have the advantage of having a father in your life?
I mean, I seen a lot of kids that was next to me, that either had or didn't have their father figure in their life. But you know, some men can become your father figure. With an absent father, your uncle, your brother, cousins, all that can become a father figure, especially when you look at a person or you look at your dad. Oh, I see so much of my father that I want to be, I want to become. But then you look at, now I want to become my own man because that's what you're supposed to be, try to be your own man. But when you got, like I said, so many other figures around you, like I had my brothers there, I had my uncles there. My uncle was also that same hard, stern person too.
Your brother, I can tell he rules with an iron fist too, but he can be gentle too.
But then, like I said, that's my young brother. So it's like, but I got bigger brothers too. It's at the same time. But like I said, my uncle and my dad was my everything right there, because without my dad there, my uncle was there. And what my dad couldn't drain in me, my uncle would drain in me. So if he couldn't chastise me, my uncle would chastise me. If I'm falling off a cliff and doing the wrong thing, they both coming.
Let me tell the viewers where we're going with this. We're glad for those who are just now tuning in. We have Mr. Entertainment himself, Keith Lee from Good Vibes, and then we have Mr. Rodney Clark in the house from the movie Full Custody. So let me explain to you. Did I get the name right? What is it?
Rodney Carter.
Rodney Carter. All right, forgive me. This is live. So
this is live. You can tell who went to public school.
so let me tell you where we're going with this. So this makes sense. You got two men here who are explaining their roles in growing up. Some with fathers, some without, some with, I won't even call it emotional issues because it's not. I think the only emotional issues that me and myself get out of it is how do we recover? How do we move forward? And more importantly, how this stems into the character that we're going to talk about from full custody. So let's move forward with this for a minute. You mentioned your father with other children, and then these other children come into your life and you connect with these other siblings. What were some of the stories that they shared with you that probably hurt them as well, that they kind of like walked around in silence, knowing that they have to share this man? Because clearly, if he wasn't really devoting that much time to you, he couldn't have been devoting that much time to the other ones.
We basically said the same thing. I met my first brother, Tommy. We was walking home from school, and dude said, "Tommy, ain't that your daddy van?" And I said, "No, that's my daddy van." And we got in an argument. And it's for real.
That sounds like a D.L. Hughley moment.
And then
not your daddy, it's my daddy.
other brother tried to come and see me, but I wouldn't see him. I don't even know you. And then so I met him like 13. And my sister, I met her when I was 17. I was actually getting ready to go up and start talking to her. I really started my conversation. My brother said, "That's your sister." And I got mad at him. "You hating? No, you lying."
I think we all done been through some situations like that.
Yeah.
But, you know, and I have more, but I ain't going to go into everybody's name. But we didn't hold grudges against each other or nothing like that. And it wasn't no
Animosity.
bitterness or nothing like that. But we ain't as tight as that. We don't have that connection. Me and my sister have a connection better than all of them, but we don't connect like that.
Almost the same scenario as what you're talking about. My dad had a lot of children. I remember the one moment in my life where I confronted him, and I asked him pretty much the same thing, like, what was my mom to you? And I don't know where that came from. I think because I seen so many. And it's not that I was upset with all of the other siblings that were there. I was close to them because I spent my summers and my holidays here. But perception is a motherfucker when you're young, because when you see things, you think what your mind perceives. I've seen them with having things that I didn't have, and blah blah blah. And as I got, but who could I share that with? So as I got older, the thought came, and we talked, and I have a great relationship with my other siblings. But that was hard for me to grow up and have these questions as a young man going into adulthood without having somebody to talk about. Because let's get real, none of us were going to fucking therapy. Didn't know nothing about it.
I was going to therapy. It's called a fist. Like, I told you, if I jump off that cliff and start going the wrong direction, I know one person in particular on the way. My uncle was coming, and he was a fighter. He was a boxer, so it was like he coming.
You was getting beat up,
and it's like, and then like he was training my cousin too, his son, and plus his other son is like his daughter. It's like they know it. You go against him, he gonna tell you go down and get them boxing gloves.
When you, I'm gonna ask you a question, Keith. You grew up with your father in the house and your mom, pretty stable family. Were there ever any moments in your life, even though you had the blessing of having both parents in the house, that you struggled with questioning if you're gonna develop into the man that you are now?
I mean, I went through a lot of trials and tribulations when I was a kid. So, growing up, Ohio and Atlanta, it's like I went through a lot of trials and tribulations, man. So I used to get whooped a lot. I mean, I ain't gonna deny it. I used to get whooped a lot because I was like, I wanted to be like the clown. I wanted to be the clown. Like, I wanted to have fun, and I wanted to joke, laugh, and play, and kick, scream, and all that stuff. So it was like, but at some point in time, they ain't playing no more. Mm-hmm. Like, it's a time when they like, listen, all that playing needs to stop.
What was
and
that?
You got to know who you talking to when you playing.
Who told you that it has to stop? Was it your mom or your dad?
Like my mom was always, she was for everything. Mm-hmm. No matter what you wanted to do, and still is to this day. No matter what you want to do with yourself, with your life, whatever, my mom was always for it. My dad was just that, I don't care. That you want to do what? You want to, all right. So then it's like, but at the same time, he was still supportive of things. But it's like, mom was it. I mean, mom is, that's for everybody. Mom is it. Mom is mom. My sister was there. Like, I have three. Me, my sister, my brother are three. Like, but I'm my father's only child. Okay. So I have a gang of brothers and sisters. But I said I'm my father's only child, and it's only because my father had another child before and passed during birth or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I really would have had a actual brother. So right now, even my sister and brother is with, a different father. But, people be like, oh, they ain't your brother and sister then. I don't know what you talking about. We grew up in the same house. That's my brother and sister. Yeah. But, nowadays, people always say, that's my brother, that's my sister. It's about the relationship that y'all done built. Right. That's how y'all become family. Family don't mean that you got to be born blood. Family got to mean your connection between that person. So that's why I say I got a host of brothers and sisters, because some of these people I would go to bat for. Yeah. Because I look at like, you my brother, 100. We never had a problem, and even if we did have a problem, this how you know we was family. If we can have a problem and come right back like if nothing ever happened. Mm. If I had to fight you or whatever, and then me and you can't end that just like that, like in nothing, I can't call you tomorrow and say, hey, what you doing? And you say, what you calling me for? Get off the phone, hang up. But our connection must ain't been that strong.
Friendly fight. Yeah. Go in the yard.
Yeah.
About 30 seconds.
Yeah. Just like your dad. Your dad, like, that's why he put that toughness in your uncle and all them bigger brothers that you had. That's what they supposed to do. Put that toughness in you to where it's like, okay, you want to fight? Let's fight. Yeah. But at the end of this fight, do you still want to fight?
You got an ultimatum.
Like, I'm gonna give you that. You still want to fight or no? Or we done? Or is it over? Because think about it, like how, like as a kid, as a father, you sit there and your son come home with a black eye. You're like, where you get that black eye? They jumped me in school. Well, go back. Yeah. I'm gonna go with you though, because I'm gonna watch you fight him, and then the next time I see you fight him, I'm gonna show you how to fight him.
Yeah. That's my mom.
Yeah, that's my mom. Yeah,
you better not come in the house with no black eye talking about you got beat up, your shoes got taken. What? You better go back and get them shoes.
I seen her slam somebody on the head. Really? They was a couple of years older. They was trying to bully. She dumped him on his neck.
So you grew up to be a man. We've all made mistakes along that path. What were some of the mistakes that you made that maybe, and this is just hypothesis. We can always say, and I hate hearing this from men, if my father was there. Okay, I probably played that card for a little bit, but the bottom line is, would it had really made a difference in my choice? You know what I mean? Would it have made a difference in my choice, whether he was there or not? What are some of the mistakes that you made that people would say, if his father was there, it may not have happened?
I think the marriages. But see, the thing of it is,
you said marriages. How many?
4. Wow. But when you coming up and you don't have that family, that's what I was looking for. So that was a burden on me to get that family, and I tried to do this. So my 4 wasn't like a month later. it was some years. So
You was trying to create what you was liking.
that's what I was missing, and to be the best father. See, I got a relationship with all my kids. We cool, all of them. But I want to do more. I want to do like that index fund.
Okay.
Where I leave something for everybody. Give everybody like a starter kit.
Okay.
That way you got a chance to do something with yourself in life. If you don't do nothing with this, then you can't say your daddy ain't did nothing for you.
When you say you have a great relationship with your kids, and my hat's off to you for that, because a lot of us men, for some reason or another, it's usually, I'm going to be perfectly blank because it'll lead into the full custody thing. A lot of it has to do with women who are holding hostage the kids from their father who wants to be fathers, allowing the legal system to tarnish the reputation of men, not just men of color, but men in general, a system that has been broken for years without taking into consideration that men want to be fathers. And I think women need to understand that we want to be fathers. We want to make a difference. And not all men probably want to, because some say I made a mistake and don't want to. I'm not speaking for every man, but the majority of men want to be. What is the key to being involved in all your kids' lives? Because they have different moms, correct?
Two had the same mom, two had the same mom. So I got 4 baby mamas.
Okay. Wow.
Sheesh.
What's that like? How do you keep that balance with the moms and the kids, and let your kids, so they don't do what you did, look out the window, because they're not looking out the windows. You made sure that wasn't even a part of the equation. So that means that you have to foster the relationship with the 4 babies' mom. How do you do that?
Well, with my 2 oldest kids, that's where the full custody come in, because I got full custody of them, and I had to. So I went from 2 in the house to 4 in the house. The thing of it is y'all have to get along for the kids' sake. Mm-hmm. You ain't got to go out and hang and be the best of friends, but you have to get along, because I might not be there, and you should still be able to go pick up the child or drop the child off, something like that. So it was like that for all of them. I had it, except for my baby. I got an 8-year-old. Mm-hmm. And I didn't see her for 3 years, because her mama, she kicked in my doors and all like that. So went through all that, and she finally put me on child support. But she only put me on child support after the Michael Blackson show.
Why is that?
That was big.
Because she was, if he make it, he ain't just got to get my baby money. He going to have to give me money, because they going to make him give him a large amount.
So now
she's in it for the money.
Now she's in it for the money. Mm-hmm. What's your take on that, Keith?
Same. You play the cards, the hand that you dealt. Okay. Play the hand that you dealt. Who's the dealer? She is.
Which I understood it, because it made sense when we went in the courtroom. She was like, he be on all these posters, and I told them just like that. She just trying to secure herself that if I do make it, that she could get something out of it.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that you would have assured her that whatever I get, my kids are going to be well taken care of.
Get it. She the only one. Everybody else grown. So she get basically whatever she want. You know what I mean? And she was just, like I said, she trying to make sure that she gets something.
Let's go right into the movie Full Custody that's going to be airing on Tubi
in
November. Congratulations for that too. Indiana's own making headlines. How much of, first of all, how did you even come across being considered to play such an intricate role in Full Custody?
The dude that wrote it, Rashard Tyson, he was in jail.
Okay.
And he came out with a magazine, and I used to write Red's Corner in this magazine. Then when he got out, he started Channel 27, this news off the internet. And he wanted me to be in it, but somebody that was already working for him, we had, anyway, it was problems. I couldn't get on there. It wasn't a good business decision. And in 2017, he actually came to me and said something about it, and we never did it until this year. And we did skits, and we did Food Precinct that was on Monday Night Football. So we did some good things together, and it came up to roll, and it just fit because I keep my name in there. It's really a movie about myself, but not really. It's highly modified.
Did you guys think of the name Full Custody before it? Let me rephrase this so it makes sense. As this is being developed, Full Custody wasn't the name, I assume.
Yeah.
So-
He had that from the beginning.
Really?
He had this already written. Remember I said he just came out of prison.
Okay.
So he's a very intellectual dude, and he does a lot of work. And
He did all this while he was in prison?
yeah. He was still moving around while he was in prison.
People do a lot in
he
prison.
He had someone on his mind. And when he came out, he put it to work. You know what I'm saying? Then we went from the skits. He finally did the movie. And he been doing the news for about 2, 3, 4 years. So he finally did the movie. He did Forgot About Us. And
Now, is he local? Because I'm sorry,
He's
I've
from
never heard
Marion.
of him.
Marion.
this is only his second movie.
Really?
And the first one won the Vegas Award,
Okay.
but it didn't do too good on Tubi. This one won the award, and he got signed a contract. So we're going to see how this one does and go from here.
What do you got a question you want to ask?
Yeah, if you don't mind rewinding this a little bit, Andre, because think about it, we know he's a comedian.
Right.
I would want to go back, rewind it before we got to now he's becoming an actor too.
Okay.
How did your start as a kid? Where did your transition go to being comedian now to being actor? What was it before comedian?
I'm glad you asked that question.
That's why
she
he's
want me to bring her name up. Her name was Florence Flemings, but she got married. Her name is Florence Parsons.
Okay.
I remember this day. I was 36, and we was at a barbecue, and she said, "You missed your calling." I said, "What you talking about?" She said, "You should have done comedy." I said, "You think I could do that?" She said, "Yeah," and I started doing it, and I did a show. It was me, a singer, and another comedian supposed to be out of Anderson. They didn't show up. So I'm up there trying to tell jokes. I crack. So I talk about you all day. But to get up there and really tell jokes, it was a different comedy.
Okay.
So kind of got by with that. And then they called me, and I went to Kokomo. It was Vanessa Fraction, Jeff B., and C. Lewis. And I opened up for them.
Wow.
And I did pretty good. So I moved to Atlanta and went to the Uptown Comedy Corner and got booed off first night. I thought I made a mistake. I moved
Wait a minute.
Nigga out the Uptown Comedy Corner.
Here I am.
So you get booed off. What was that like?
Oh, man, it was terrifying. It was
Hell, I
terrifying.
would have been terrified going on the first time.
Because,
You know what I mean?
because
That makes a person
they
stop,
asked,
though.
they said, you
Yeah.
did comedy? I was like, yeah, I did comedy, but it was like a Apollo night where they could boo you. And I had moved my whole family down there. So we switched residents.
Wow.
And when they booed me, oh my God.
I was like, we ready to go.
I can see this
Back.
in my head.
Time to go back. Time to go
And
back.
guess who was in the crowd?
D.L. Hughley.
And T.I. How you know D.L. Hughley?
We'll talk about that later.
Uptown
I
Comedy
love
Club.
DL.
So I done bombed in front of
Uptown.
both of them.
Wow.
And then me and my brother got in an argument. Went to the Decatur because we was in Norcross.
Yeah, I know what Norcross is. Yeah.
Decatur, and ran into dude.
North or
Smoke.
South? North or South?
Decatur.
North or
I
South?
don't even know.
He don't even know what part of Decatur
I
he
don't
was
even
in.
know. It's not just where we was at. Everything was there. You didn't need to leave.
The good part or the other part? Which one?
All the bad part.
Okay.
Okay, you was in there. You
So, and a dude named Smoke, ran into him. He had been on BET, but they was calling for shows. He didn't have no card. His license was no good. I had a card. So wherever he would go, I would open up as long as I drove. We went to a 4-city tour in South Carolina. We went to New Orleans. And shout out to Biloxi, Mississippi for finding that weed and letting us still go home. Thank you.
You know what? We bleeped that part. I know you. We know we bleeped that part.
Everything isn't bad in Mississippi.
No.
And I opened up for him, and then I came back and went to the Funny Bone.
Okay.
96 with Harold Bell and
I've heard
Gino
of Harold.
Shelton.
Yeah.
Did a contest, and I did out there, and that's when I started.
DJ Gino.
When the lady told you you missed your calling, it's amazing how the universe works. We talked about that off
You know, that's a
camera.
gospel person.
Yeah. She saw something in you, so it just makes me wonder how many other people saw.
Man, they
that
got
in you.
free comedy for years. It was people when I would be, cause telling jokes, cracking. I tell you, it's just natural. I got it from my mama.
Right.
But I
Tony.
tell you, so we would be in the club and they would come get me. I said, so they're trying to crack on you, and it'd be a crowd of people running over there, and we'd be in the club cracking. And she seen all the funny stuff that I did and all like that. So
what did you bring? What did he see? The producer, the brains behind this operation. What did he met you? He knew you. Did he know enough about you? What was it about you that made him decide to make you the lead for this particular topic? And more importantly, here, this is called Full Custody. How did this name even come about? Was it something in his life?
the universe. You say how the universe works.
Okay.
Like I said, I've been doing comedy there, so he knew I did comedy. And when he approached me about the news, he wanted me on there to, commentate with him about the news. But we started doing skits, and like I said, he was getting a lot of hits off of that. And they put the one on Monday Night Football, and just went from there. So,
what did you bring to the table before we wrap up? What did you bring to the table as far as your experience to Full Custody that made it to Tubi? Because naturally these things have to go through a process, whether or not they wanted the trial and error. But something about Full Custody made Tubi say we're gonna go with this. What do you think that you brought to this table, to this particular movie?
I think it was more. I actually, for my first time really playing the role, I actually played the role pretty good. I had to say that in my facial expressions and
Comedy is in the movie. Trust me.
comedy's in the movie, but it was like a hell. So it wasn't like to be all the way out to myself.
Was a lot of the comedy in the movie concealed
Scripted or unscripted?
with pain? That because this is pretty much your life. This is Full Custody. So how much of that comedy was actually resonated from pain that you didn't want people to see? And sometimes we have to do what I call the tears of a clown.
I mean, but you turn that into laugh now, cry later.
I've been spiritual, and that helps me deal with a lot of stuff because I don't get upset and I don't take it personal. You know what I mean? Doing Full Custody, I can understand because not only did I get custody of my kids,
Right.
and I had another child had for 3 months. I had 2 kids. When Rick Ross said a week apart, and I can't even lie about it, wasn't that him? That's what I had. And so I'm carrying bassinet both of them around. Then I found out 3 months later that he ain't mine because this baby mama swabbed without my permission. But it helped. Found out he wasn't mine. So when I went to her, I said, This ain't even my son. She said, so what that mean? You don't want to be the daddy no more? No.
My son.
Really?
Yeah, so that part right there kind of, because sometimes I think about him because me and him connected, but I can't hold on to that because I got to let him go. You know what I'm saying? I had to let him go.
How does that make you feel knowing that at one particular moment in your life, you was doing what men do? You took care of a child that you knew wasn't yours, and it's got to be still heartbreaking because I can see it in your eyes. You really didn't want to let him go because you got a bond, and that mama, baby, daddy, maybe thing is definitely something you lived through. But what was it that made the other lady do the swap? Did she have some indication that
She said,
wasn't?
that's not your child because my kids and my grandkids, you could tell.
Okay.
You just got that. It's just certain things on it you could see and be like, oh, yeah, that's yours. And even though he had pretty good hair, and she didn't.
It doesn't always resort to the hair.
But he had the nose on him too. But it was a little flat. But I thought he'd the air up and come back. But I don't know. I felt like it was mine, but he wasn't. And I do got one thing I got to do. So if we ever get to the money, I got to get my name off the birth certificate.
Yeah, because your name on the birth certificate, that means you're liable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Child support and the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, she ain't came and said nothing. She know who the baby is, so she ain't bothered me or nothing. So, and he's 8, so she ain't bothered me.
Before we wrap up, you did the movie Full Custody. Remember, coming out on Tubi November. Mr. Clark is in the house with Mr. Lee from
Mr. Carter.
Mr. Carter.
In the house. Mr. Carter.
Public schools.
We are
Check your kids' homework when they get home now.
like,
Don't let them be grown and still messing up.
You know what it is? I don't have my glasses on.
Like,
I try to get mad.
Yeah, I got.
we are live, right? Everybody, we are
This
live
the
right now.
only man I know got waves in his beard. I've never seen that.
A wavy
He
beard.
got a 360.
I'm gonna ask you this question real quick because this is crucial. You do the movie. You definitely have come across some empowering individuals. I'm a firm believer the universe brings in us what we attract. You bring positivity in, you get positivity. And I'm blessed that both of you guys are here with me. I met Keith just through getting rid of some stuff, and we became great friends. I meet you, and definitely having another great friends. You know him. The universe does some remarkable things. This is a remarkable project that you've been a part of. What did you take away from this role in this character that you played here?
I took the helping your kids and being there for them because that's what the movie is about, going through trouble and making a difference. So making a difference in your kids' life and just letting them know what's going on out there and not letting them walk blindly. You know what I mean? Makes a difference.
What do you got to say about that? You saw the premiere. What was your take?
I saw bits and pieces.
Okay.
I was like in and out. I went for the free food.
That's my friend, though.
I went for the free food.
What none?
Not to put you out, not to put it out there, but like it was potato.
Is that why you came here today? Because he already ate all the wings.
It was potato chips, and then I was gonna come here today to get some food here, but you ain't had none.
It was already gone.
It's fine. So
We
now-
couldn't split 3 wings.
It's cool, but now he trying to get me. He trying to come in and feed me a drink. Like, it's terrible.
So knowing what you heard today, and you guys are pretty good friends, you've had a business relationship. What's your take on what he's done with the movie and what he's done for the community?
Like I said, that's why I asked him that question about how his upbringing was before getting into comedy, as well as going the transitions from comedy to now acting. Thinking about he's still going to be doing comedy. That's why I'm like, we already know with him being a comedian, it's going to be some comedy in this, and some of it going to be unscripted because a comedian know how to. I mean, just saying, you put
But some of it unscripted. Okay.
yeah, I mean, it's you putting comedy in any movie. I don't care how serious or how delicate the movie is. You putting a comedian in the movie. So even if it doesn't end up on the outtakes of the movie, it's gonna still end up in the movie at some shape or form.
Okay. Before we wrap up, how can the viewers reach out to you? You definitely do stand-up comedy. How can they watch the movie? Give us a bio how people can reach you.
You can reach me at Rodney Carter on Facebook. That's where my reels is. I also do characters, so you can catch coming there. And I still do skits. It's been a minute, but I'm going to bring it back here before it get too cold outside. Full Custody would be out in November on Tubi. If you just want to see another movie, Forgot About Us is on Tubi right now. I play at the end, Uncle Albert. But you catch me doing with Keith. I'll be up there doing some shows with him.
Yeah.
And I also I got my friend in the movie, Tana B, is also in the movie.
Okay, great. Keith, how can the viewers support you and know what you're doing? You got Good Vibes Entertainment. You're doing a lot of things for the Indianapolis area. You're definitely revamping one of our favorite malls, Washington Square Mall. You definitely have one of the premier nightclubs now. From what I understand, you're ready to venture into the restaurant entertainment. Yeah. So how can the viewers reach out to you and support you?
So as of right now, you know, I'm like I said, Washington Square Mall, 10202 East Washington Street. My office and everything is in there. So I am the CEO and founder of Good Vibes brand. You can my clothing is also in stores, Target, Walmart, Myers, TJ Maxx, Ross, Marshalls. Just to throw a couple out there.
But you're everywhere.
Now it's like I've been dipping into the more the entertainment side, because that's where everything started at from the get-go. Entertainment, because with being a producer with LaFace Records and controlling one of their studios in Atlanta, that's where everything started with me. But now being here and now being dormant in Indianapolis, I'm like, you know what? If this is about to be my new residence, I'm finna bring everything I brought to every other city. So you know you can't be all at multiple places at the same time. You can't be there. And I finally, health-wise, made me sit down to say, listen, you can't be there. You can't do everything. And all of everything I've ever done, no matter if it's music, art, limousine, now fashion and stuff like that. Now I'm introducing that now. Think about, I own the property, so there's no need for me not to have it in that property. So everything Good Vibes now will be housed inside of Washington Square Mall.
I got a Good Vibes outfit.
I know that. That's my. Really? That was my. Yeah. I got a shirt. I got like 6 cents. I got like 6 cents off that shirt.
Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you tune in November for Full Custody. Make sure you stop into Washington Square Mall and support Keith Lee and Good Vibes Entertainment.
Don't come see me without me knowing, though.
This has been another exciting episode of the Andre The Beast Crayton Show.